Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing, email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing. Today, we're discussing a model that launched in 2007 and ran through 2014. This is the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Air-King, reference 114234. It has the 904L steel case and bracelet with the white gold fluted bezel. These are lovable 34mm watches, 11.6 millimeters thick from lug tip to lug tip, 41.5 millimeters, and end link to end link. The total distance across the wrist is 43.5 millimeters with a 19 millimeter spacing between the lugs. These watches are underrated and probably undervalued given what people are paying for other Rolex models of comparable quality right now. On my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, you can see it's actually a good match. In terms of the fit and the size, it wears larger than a 34. It feels more like a conventional 36. It's elegant, it's low profile, it's not going to declare itself quite as loudly as other Rolex models, and it's an appropriate unisex option that fits easily under a dress cuff and could make an excellent dress watch, but it's also a sports watch. We'll talk about that in a moment. Rolex has its own foundry, it makes its own cases, bracelets, and clasps, and it makes its own metals. So it uses 904L steel, and that is a highly corrosion-resistant steel that can resist, for example, sea salts, salts in sweat. This is a very resilient material. While standard 316L stainless steel is good, this, in terms of corrosion resistance, is great. Rolex also uses its own blend of white gold. This is what's called gray gold in the industry. It's an 18-karat white gold that's white all the way through, so it never needs to be rhodium plated, unlike conventional white gold. Now you can see the Oyster bracelet, 3 links, satin across the top, removable links fixed by screws with polished outer faces. We have a clasp that's media blasted internally. You can see that there is a lift lock system. You can watch it latch right here, and you see it just latched down and secured, and then you have to lift the latch to unlock it. So it's not a friction fit system. You can see here, quite simple. We have a couple of divots, 3 divots drilled inside the clasp. There's no easy link on this entry-level model, but you get 3 divots so you can use your strap tool to change the anchoring point of the bracelet inside the clasp. We have a debossed imprint of the Rolex 5-point coronet, satin finished external clasp with polished faces, and then we get to the case, which is handsome, simple, and enduring. This is the same basic Oyster case shape that originally debuted back in 1926, so it's been long running. And you can see that the watch has a handsome break between polish on its flanks and satin on its lug hoods. Then we have that fluted bezel. This example looks like it may have been refinished once or twice, so while it's in very, very good condition, I would say nevertheless it's probably about an 8.5 in terms of case condition, and then a 10 out of 10 for the dial. Now the dial is blue sunburst with applique indices and tri-Arabic numerals. So it's an Air-King, but it's an Explorer dial. You have the 369. The reason we have white gold logo, numerals, indices, and hands is because it's a very resilient material that won't discolor, oxidize, or tarnish over time. Now this watch is well loomed. You can see we're in the era of green luminova here. This is before Rolex started rolling over to chromalite in the 2010s. Underneath the case back, by the way, we've got a screw-down twin-lock crown, 100 meters water resistance. But underneath the case back, we have Rolex manufactured caliber 3130, automatic winding with bidirectional winding action, stop seconds, 48-hour power reserve, 4 Hz beat rate, 31 pivot jewels, COSC certified Swiss chronometer, and it has a full balance bridge with a free-sprung index for shock tolerance. It also features an overcoil hairspring, a Breguet overcoil made by hand that allows the watch to keep even time in any physical position, so gravity will neither speed it up nor slow it down in a meaningful fashion. That helps it to earn its COSC chronometer certification, and it is 5-point adjusted the way chronometers are on the timing machine. This is a watch that offers a lot of value inside and out. And again, in the era when people are paying $40,000 for steel Daytonas, this is just as much watch with just as much appeal. A little bit off the beaten path, but still highly desirable and flying like an Air-King will below the radar. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.